Hey everyone, today we're gonna make another cloud, but this one, it's gonna be a cinnamon bun or a cinnamon roll. I'm not sure what the difference is. If you know, comment down below and please let me know, but there's not much to say. I've taken the past 2 hours to crack 4 egg whites, and since they're already cracked, there's only one thing to do. Let's whip. Add a pinch of cream of tartar. That was a little more than a pinch, but it is getting clumped up in here. I don't know why. Plug in your mixing sticks of choice. Get your legs ready. It's gonna be a heavy leg day today. Start whipping. And when the whisking sticks are leaving streaks in your cloud, you stop whisking. It's not a complete cloud yet. You can't flip it over. Well, maybe you can, but don't try. We're gonna add some stuff to it. 10 grams of starch from a corn. 40 grams of sugar from a grape. Which, if you're wondering why I said sugar from a grape, I didn't know this until I read the back of the package because I don't read things and I'm not good at reading, but I came around to reading this and it says erythritol is a sugar alcohol found in fruits such as pears, melons, and grapes. So pretty much what I'm saying is if you don't eat enough fruits, just use a ton of this sweetener and it's basically the same thing. And a pinch of salt. It is hard for me to give you an exact time of how long to whip this for, but it's gonna take around 3 minutes this time. Basically, you wanna keep doing it until you can feel comfortable doing that and nothing happens to your head. If anything happens to your head, I'm sorry. It's thick, it's a cloud in a bowl. Add 5 grams of psyllium husk to get that chewy, bready, dough-like texture. I'm using the whole husks because I want it in the whole form. Cinnamon rolls cannot be cinnamon rolls without cinnamon, otherwise they would just be rolls. Put a good sprinkle of that in. I like to put around 2 teaspoons, but use as much as you'd like. If you're a cinnamon lover, use 3 teaspoons. The combination of extracts absolutely make this. You're gonna need vanilla extract, butter extract, and cake batter extract. I can explain what each extract does in this, but you probably get the idea. The butteriness from the butter extract, the vanilla-iness from the vanilla extract, and the thing that makes it taste more cakey, pastry-like, is the cake batter extract. I know cinnamon rolls aren't cake, but it's kind of like in the same category, and this just adds better flavor to it. So if you have it, use it. If you don't have it, it is okay. You don't need it. But if you do have it, you're gonna be glad you used it. And just the smell of this is so pastry-like, it is really nice. Use 5 grams of each one, so that's around a teaspoon of every single extract. Because what are cinnamon rolls? They're vanilla-y, they're buttery, and they're cakey. And this is a new bottle of vanilla extract, so I'm gonna teach you a hack. I think I've shown you this a while ago on the channel, but I wanna show you guys again because it changed my life. You see that foil right on top? Don't rip the whole thing off. Typically, you would just peel it off and then you'd have to measure it in teaspoons, or you could pour it out and too much would come out. And you know what happens when too much vanilla extract comes out? It is never a good time. Just get yourself a push pin, 1 hole, and look at that. Perfect streaks. So water gun of vanilla extract just coming out. 1 teaspoon of that, maybe a little more because I like vanilla. And it is already thick, it is already a cloud, but we just wanna whip this really, really quickly one last time just to get everything incorporated. And there we go. Oh my God, this smells actually like a cinnamon bun. I'm not kidding. If you smell this, that cake batter mixed with the cinnamon, it's crazy. Let's bake. I have a giant pizza pan here because I don't have a square big pan. I used to, but I've been searching for it. I don't know where it is. I don't know how a pan runs away, but it's okay. All we have to do is shape this into a square, so we don't need a square pan or a rectangle. But a rectangle is a square. No, a square is a rectangle. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. This needs to be a rectangle. Take your cloud. I'm telling you, it's a cloud, but it's gonna fall now. And spread it all out. Come here, jump up, jump. Jump up. Here. Hey. Hey, good boy. Hey, stop attacking me. No. No. You want to see a cloud? No. Want to see a cloud? You ready? Look at this thing. Just take a look. All right. I'm just going to continue to spread this out. It takes some time, guys, so be patient and continue to spread this out. Here. Good boy, don't lick it because it's dangerous for you. I don't know if dogs are allowed to have cinnamon. But clearly he's not a fan of the clouds. He doesn't really like healthy food, except for carrots. Other than carrots, he doesn't like healthy foods. You give him an egg, and he eats the yolk, and then he just leaves the white. So you gotta make an omelet. And then he complains because it's not a hard-boiled egg and he can't just take the yolk out of the middle. He's a very spoiled dog. Stop stretching. You're on the counter. It's not a yoga mat. So when you have it all flattened out, I know you might be thinking, wow, how am I ever gonna make a perfect rectangle like that? And to that, I have to say, it is okay, guys. You guys don't have to be perfect like me. I'm kidding, this took me a while and it's not a perfect rectangle, but it's okay because it's still gonna work. It's close enough to a rectangle. And if you close your eyes and you squint just a little bit, it is a rectangle. So this goes in your oven, 300 degrees, pretty much. It's gonna take 20 minutes. If you spread it super thin, it could take a little bit less. If you spread it kind of thicker, it might take a little bit more. So for the filling, you have a few options. I absolutely love pumpkin. I know it's basic, but pumpkin cinnamon rolls, I honestly think it's a match made in heaven. So I love the pumpkin filling. I think it adds to the flavor. It complements it perfectly. If you don't like pumpkin, you could use applesauce, but a better substitution would be Greek yogurt. You could also use Greek yogurt mixed with some fat-free or light cream cheese. That would also be amazing, and you could do the same thing, just sub that in for the pumpkin, but I think pumpkin is amazing. It's also healthy, it's a vegetable, and it's smooth, it's creamy, and it's perfect. 30 grams of erythritol, or AKA grape sweetener, and then our classic butter extract and vanilla extract to get that butteriness, that vanilla-iness. A lot of people, they take cinnamon rolls and then they just spread butter on the inside and they sprinkle brown sugar on top, but we can't do that because we're gonna keep things healthier. Teaspoon of butter extract. A teaspoon, maybe a tiny bit more of vanilla extract. I'm not sure if I don't know what cap went on which one, but it doesn't really matter, does it? A sprinkle of cinnamon. Now, if you have nutmeg, use nutmeg in this. It would be perfect, but if you have something a little bit better, like some pumpkin pie spice, use a dash of this, because we already got the pumpkin. Let's just go full force pumpkin pie. But you don't have to use nutmeg, you don't have to use pumpkin pie spice. As long as you have cinnamon, you'll be good. And then 20 grams or 2 teaspoons of sugar-free maple syrup. I just have to check to make sure it tastes like maple syrup, and it does. So 20 grams. And then a pinch of salt. It's gonna get a darker brownish, orangish color to it. It looks really good. Look at that. Give it a taste. Ooh, perfect sweetness. I do want more cinnamon though. I don't think I added enough earlier. We might as well just make an icing to go on top. A little glaze for our cinnamon rolls. 20 grams of powdered sweetener, powdered erythritol. It's the same stuff, the grape sweetener in that green bag. All I did was toss it in a blender because I didn't want to buy an extra powdered sweetener. It's expensive. You don't need it. All you need is a blender and regular sweetener and just blend it and turns into powdered sweetener. I really like cream cheese frostings, but I wanted an icing-like consistency to go on these. And so the trick is to get the best of both worlds, to get that icing glaze consistency with the cream cheese flavor, use some cream cheese emulsion or cream cheese extract. You want to be careful with this stuff because it is strong, and if you use too much, it's going to be too overpowering and it won't be good. So I'm only going to use 3 grams. And get your milk nut of choice and add another 3 grams of this. Be really careful. If you add too much, it will be way too thin. So add a little bit at a time. Mix this. If you got that glaze consistency, you're good. And if you don't, then you could just add a tiny bit more almond milk. When the consistency just drips down the spoon like that, you're ready. And this is done. You gotta work really quickly here because when it is hot, it is soft. And when it is soft, you can roll it into a cinnamon roll. Get this off the parchment paper. You wanna basically get the parchment paper off. You see how it's kind of hard because I baked it the least amount of time possible? You need to do that so you can actually roll it into a cinnamon roll. Get your mixture and just spread it all over. And continue to work quickly here. You don't want this setting, you don't want this hardening, because if it does, that sugar, that erythritol is gonna crystallize. It's just gonna get too hard to roll up. Also, the good thing about the pumpkin is when you bake it again for the second bake, the sugars in the pumpkin caramelize, and it just gives that roasty, toasty, brown sugar-like flavor that's just absolutely amazing. So now we roll. There we go. Now put this back on your parchment paper, shape it up a little more, and this gets baked again, 300 degrees for another 20 minutes. And since I was working so quickly, I have some extra filling to eat because I wasn't able to put it in. And after another 20 minutes, look at that golden brown crust. It is perfect. The pumpkin on the inside is gonna be caramelized. It's gonna be browner. It's gonna be, let's cut into this thing. We gotta cut cinnamon rolls out of this. Pro tip, use a serrated knife. It creates a sawing motion, which makes your job in life a lot easier. It doesn't really matter how you plate it. You could put it on any plate. You could eat it right now. But if you put it on a skillet, it just tastes better. It is steaming, but do not forget your glaze. Just drizzle this on. It is time to try a cinnamon roll. I'm so excited. These look so good. I mean, so fluffy. This one is calling my name, so let's try it. That pumpkin filling. Let's go again. Man, this is good. The sugars in the pumpkin caramelize and it makes it so much better. 4 egg whites and a half cup of pumpkin. I mean, that is healthy. A little sprinkling of pumpkin pie seasoning right on top. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one.